What you have here are fragments of tissue found under the fingernails of one of your companions, barbarously murdered in the middle of the night 1 week ago. Our scientific analysis has traced them to this foulard, which was used to strangle Carol Peterson. If you have ever seen a scarf like this on any person you can identify, it is your duty to report it either to the police or the university authorities. I might add that no one in Perugia, either man or woman, is safe until this killer is captured and brought to justice.
What's up, Gorehounds? Welcome to the Gore More Podcast. I am the not-so-mean fluff master supreme, Big Johnny D, bringing this shit show in as always. However, I do not bring this shit show in alone. For with me today, and I actually do have one today, because last week I did not. So it kind of goes, well, if you've seen this movie, coming
if you know,
today,
you know.
Yeah, the hot and horny heathens.
Hey! I mean,
the Dark Lord himself, the daddy of this show, Mr. Chad Chrisman.
What's up, bitches?
And that lovable meat mountain, the killing machine, Mr. Bobby Amone.
Feel my bicep and tell me I'm pretty.
Yeah. Welcome, Gorehounds. Today is April 25th, 2022, and we have a steamy episode for you today. And oh my goodness. Yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat here. We got Heather, of course, our lovely
Joe's
Scuba, who
is
is joining us but can't join us today, and Mr. Joseph Gallo, who I did get to hug today, and that was a very nice hug. About 3 different hugs, so it's always good.
My hug is better, Joe.
I listen, dude. I'm like, as Chad knows, I'm a hugger, so I just take them all regardless.
He is the Fluff Master Supreme, and we mean that in the cute and cuddly way.
Yes, not in a bad way. So before we get into this just delicious episode, first and foremost, we are going to talk about what the hell we did in the last week. And usually we have Mr. Vasquez stepping up to give us his sweet, sweet pipes, but he made us a sweet little video instead.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for your
Thank you.
Love that pizza. That's great.
Steve. Right? It's such a good idea.
It makes me want
dude.
a piece of pizza, though, right?
As soon as I'm going to make a video, it's like, put a pizza slice in the background. I didn't expect he was getting the stretch, so that he even went.
I love that
higher
it's the true proper New York style pizza too. By the way, not that garbage Chicago deep dish crap.
That's pie.
That is
Say what
pie.
you want. I like it. It's good. Fuck off.
No.
Now talk about your.
I like it
fucking
too,
week.
but it's not New York style. Bob.
New York style is the best.
Yeah,
You gotta be able to
that's a
fold.
whole-
that
Notice how it
twice.
doesn't say New York style. It says Chicago.
Yeah, that's all right.
Exactly.
What up, Brody? Boo boo kitty. Fuck. Oh,
Yeah,
my
buddy.
God. So, you know what, Chad Daddy, if you want to start us off, how have you been, brother? We didn't get to see you last week.
I have been well. Okay, so the reason I was not here, I don't know if you guys went into detail. So, what have I been up to? My daughter turned 12. You know, she's becoming a young lady, so she's got that whole preteen crap going on. Aside from that, we had Easter dinner over at my wife's grandmother's, and what happened was, since it was such a nice, beautiful day, nice sunshine, the kids were outside playing. The kids were outside playing baseball, and they were using a little t-ball thing. And my oldest daughter, Clothon, who just turned 12, she was up to take a swing at the ball. She swung with all her might, missed the ball, and didn't see her little brother right beside her. Crack. full force ball bat right to the cranium.
Ouch. Nice.
So
dude.
he yells and starts crying. My wife runs out and she holds his head, and there's just blood pouring down. So, everybody's freaking out. We're trying to remain calm. My daughter's in tears because she's afraid, about her brother. My youngest daughter is in tears. So we did get the EMTs there, and they said he's going to have to go to the hospital for.
Joe.
So he said
Sorry.
the EMTs said, he's gonna have to go to the hospital probably for stitches. So we take him to the emergency room. They, they look at it, do a CAT scan. Everything's fine, no concussion. He's perfectly fine. Didn't even need stitches. They just glued it shut. So
Nice.
by the time we got out of the emergency room, and I had to go up to my in-laws to pick up my other kids and got back, it was already after 9:30 at night. So I didn't have time to watch the movie, unfortunately. I barely had time to get any sleep. So that's why I wasn't on last week. And after that, it's just been a pretty uneventful week. Took the kids bowling for Chloe's birthday party, had a nice turnout. And I don't think I got a chance to mention this. So a couple weeks ago, my lead at work, who we love working for, dropped the bomb that she handed in a resignation. Her last day is this Friday.
Okay.
And so last week, the one girl we all work with and we just love, we call her name's Shanice, and we call her Baby Bub because we call each other Bub, and she's the youngest. She's like 24, so we call her Baby Bub. And she told us that she is handing in her resignation, so her last day will also be Friday. So we're losing two good people in our department this week.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's a low kick.
yeah. So that's
What's up,
gonna
Amy?
sting.
Howdy, Amy.
But let's see. Aside from that, not much. Just watched a couple movies. Watched this, fantastic movie, which I love. This movie. I'm glad you guys got a chance to share it, and I'm guessing you guys probably at the very least liked it as much as I did. It's been a long time since I watched this, but you know what? I've droned on long enough. Bobby, your turn, buddy.
Well, I mean, of course, real quick, we did love this movie. I mean, our names were, had the word horny in it. Of course.
Look at that.
My week was good. I started a new job last Monday, and it's already going fantastic. Love working
Excellent.
with everybody.
Nice.
And then today got a phone call from one of my coworkers from the old job. And I said, he says, "How's it doing over there?" And I said, "How's it doing?" He says, "Same shit, different day." He's like, "You're lucky you got out when you did." I said, "I was getting out regardless, so it didn't really matter."
Lucky
And then
you
this-
get out when you did. You left a week ago, bro.
Damn, I know. The weird part is I still haven't got over the fact that I have a normal schedule now. But anyway,
Nice.
so Friday I was with my girlfriend. We went out to dinner with a few friends of ours. Saturday I was with my brother, helping him, working with him, and then we went to the Monster Truck show in MetLife Stadium, which is a good time. We haven't been to one of those in a few years, so it was nice to go to that. And then yesterday, me and my girlfriend and a couple more of our friends, we went to Clinton in like Northwest New Jersey, went and had lunch, went walking around, all that kind of, fun little stuff. And so it was a nice, good, calm, relaxing weekend and, all that good shit. And then, yes, Joe, there are a bunch of short people in this chat, including you. So, love you, sweetie. But no, it was a good weekend, and then got to watch this, very delicious movie. It made me cream in my dreams, unlike some other people I know who are not in this chat. Hint, hint.
I will
Nudge,
say,
nudge.
man, it was definitely some spicy Italian. That is for sure.
To
That
say
it
it was some
was.
spicy Italian, I'm an Italian. I wanted to extra spicy it up, but that's a
I gotta
different story.
say, I was watching it and I was like, holy shit, I forgot how many tits are in this movie.
This is definitely not one you want the youngins to accidentally walk out on, unless you're cool with that.
I mean,
Whatever.
unless it's your son and then he discovers boobs, it's like,
You know what?
that's my boy.
The funny thing is, my parents never had any objections to us watching stuff like that when we were kids, so it doesn't, I don't really care.
You know
Obviously,
why? Because they know, as we all, there's always that natural, just unnervingness when you're watching a sex scene with your parents, and that never goes away. By the way,
No, it never
for
does.
any of the youngins listen out there. I'm almost 40, and I'm telling you, that still shit's gonna be like, weird.
Yeah.
dude, there's this barbarian movie called Death Stalker. I don't know if anybody's seen it or heard of it, but I remember watching it. I remember watching it when I was a kid, and I got the DVD years ago and watched it with my wife. And after it was over, I looked at him like, "I'm sorry, I'm a little embarrassed. I don't remember there being this much sex in it."
Hey man,
Well,
that's okay.
As we can tell, this movie had a lot of that. And sorry, Joe, you can't hear it from down there, but not my problem. So, Johnny, tell me about your weekend and your slice of life.
Oh, let's see. Well, normal fucking work bullshit. Did stop over at the Mr. Gallo's house actually, and I did a little work on his ribs for his zombie ghost face. We did a little docking as well. I mean, I won't deny. For you audio listeners, Chad was trying to demonstrate. But no, we did that, and then we went out and did a quick little, like, I don't know, 20-minute shoot. Just fucking around. He had his grave in the thing. We were like, all right, let's see what we got. And it was a nice windy day. We actually got some cool shots.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see, what the hell did I do this weekend? Saturday I didn't do shit because we were supposed to do a shoot that got canceled. And then Sunday was a delicious day up here in Central New York. It actually hit the 80s. So we all went to the zoo with a bunch of friends.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool. There's like a couple of different zoos in the areas, but this one, like, the big attraction there is the elephants. This one, the big attraction is the giraffes.
Ooh.
So, but this one's I like it because it's a lot more of a rustic feel. So it feels very Adirondack, if that makes sense to anybody listening. A lot of woodsy stuff, very cabiny. No, it was cool, man. It was good times, and then good hanging out with friends. The girls got out to play and see the animals and then feed. So I'm gonna end this with this, and this is kind of funny. So my buddy Grant, I don't know if he's listening, and I hope he does because this is his idea. So I have to give him full cred. Now, this place is a feeding petting zoo too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you get in there and there's just a fuck ton of goats. All right. So you're just feeding goats left and right, blah, blah, blah. But then they also have tigers, bears, and lions all right next to each other, which I was like, somebody planned that shit out. Yeah. And then they also got, some mountain lions and shit. So we're looking at this mountain lion, dude, and this thing just looks fucking mean, man. Like, straight up, it's just going back and forth. And these things actually live. They can be local to where I am. Like,
oh yeah,
that's not even a fucking
yeah.
As you guys all know, too. Like, Chad's got. People don't believe it, dude, but there's fucking black panthers in fucking Pennsylvania. There's been pictures of them.
Oh, I believe that.
They fucking exist.
My old roommate saw one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. People think it's a cryptid of Pennsylvania. It's like, no, man, they're scarce, but they're fucking there.
Yep.
So anyways, he goes, dude, what if they feed the goats to all the big animals and shit? And then that way you're having the public feed your feed, and then you just do that. So then that way, not only does it keep the
circle
and
of
I was
life.
like, so wait a minute. I'm like, do you kill the goats? And he goes,
no, it's
let them
Jurassic
run.
Park's.
And I go,
Jurassic
that's
Park
how
style.
I would do it too. Like, keep them, you know what I mean? Like, keep them going. Like, keep their animal instincts. So, Amy, it is. But at the same time, I'm like, holy fuck, that is it's a fucked up, but it's a genius idea if you really think
that. No, I don't even something. I'm actually going to say it's fucked up. That is just pure genius.
So yeah, because we come in, so the wife bought 3 feed cups. I don't want to fucking feed, but I'll just hold, you know what I mean? So if the kid wants to feed, I'll just, okay, here's more, whatever. So you're paying to get the feed, and then you're feeding all these lazy ass goats and shit.
Well, how much is the feed? I don't know why I've got to ask.
I don't know. It might be like $1 to $2 a cup, let's just say. And it's a red Solo cup completely filled to the brim. Everybody knows what a Solo cup is, so you can go from that.
Okay.
We've seen movies.
Yeah, exactly. It's a full 16 ounces. But yeah, man. Honestly, I kind of hope they do. I don't think they would. And that's what I asked them. I'm like, so that's clearly an after we close the gate kind of a scenario.
You're saying this, and I'm just picturing Jurassic Park the whole time.
Right, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of Jurassic Park, they have an alligator pit, which I was pissed because the alligators weren't in the fucking pit. But they have this crazy epic fucking, like, it sounds like a Jurassic Park. It would sound like it would be from Jurassic Park 3. Like, they kind of gave up and it was a little bit lazy this time, but it sounds like a weird Jurassic Park score around this thing. So they are playing this fucking epic ass music, and you're like, oh man, I'm gonna see some crocodiles or something. Nothing. It's just an empty fucking pool. You're like, what the fuck, dude? Turn the music off, man. You're fucking pumping me up for nothing.
See, all right. So you said it's like Jurassic Park. Real quick, I could see like the owner going, they see it happen. Who's hungry?
Yo, could you imagine though, like throwing a goat or two in the lion cage or the fucking
I mean,
tiger cage.
Drop
dude.
it into the fucking crocodile pit.
I
Right.
kind of want to be the
Well,
person
in the
to
lion cage,
do
dude.
it.
In the lion cage, that was the funniest, dude, because so there's two females and there's one male, and that male he was looking fucking great, dude. He just came out of a Suave commercial. He was looking fan-fucking-tastic. One of the he was like looking at all these kids, which I always feel like that at zoos, dude. I'm like, you have these 500-pound cats looking at 40-pound children staring at them, and it's just like the cats are like, dude, just throw one over. Come on, throw one over. It's all I just want. You know what I mean? So, anyways, like he's coming up out of the cage. One of the females comes over, dude, and you hear this low growl. And I look at my wife, I'm like, dude, she just gave him some fucking serious shit because he instantly turned around and they went over. And then they started fucking, dude, he was straight up putting his shit right in her face. And I was like, oh, she was giving him shit for a different reason. And I was like, well, this is how kids learn, right? So that was my weekend. John at the zoo. It was a great fucking time.
John watching lion fuck.
Right? I really hope the goat thing is true, by the way, dude. I know it was just a thought, but at the same time, like, I don't know, man. That seems so smart.
Terrible,
I like wow. I like Joe's idea to use a trebuchet to throw the goats in.
Right? Oh, I'm gonna fucking. All right, we need to make that. All right. Anyways, let's wrap this shit up. Wow. You know what, Chad? This is your pick.
This
So
is
what
my
are we
pick.
Here to here to talk about?
We're
today,
here.
buddy?
We're here to talk about 1973's Torso, aka what was the alternate title? The Italian.
Dude, I don't know. It's like fucking a sentence, bro.
After a string of appalling lust murders involving two college students, involving two college students, I hit a wrong button. Shocks the University of Perugia. Daniela, accompanied by three of her young girlfriends, and two of them are definitely girlfriends, flee to the safety of the secluded Villa St. Alba in the Italian countryside. However, the sadistic serial killer, who leaves a red and black scarf at the scene of the crime, is determined to finish the job.
Or is it a black and red scarf?
He is prepared to drench the girl's sunny vacation in blood. Who is the unknown murderer, and what is his motive?
So, Bob, would you like to take it?
Certainly. Directed by Sergio Martino. Your vice is a locked room, and I only have the key. Jesus Christ, that's a
title. Wow,
I love that title though.
It is. It actually
room
is.
And only I. That sounds like a Fall Out Boy song.
No, that sounds like a song.
That
sounds like a song title. Actually,
that's some emo shit from 2005.
Yes. He also did Island of the Fishmen, written by Sergio Martino. American Rickshaw, 2019. After All of New York. Ernesto Gastaldi.
What? After the Fall of New York.
Did you say After All of New York?
Yes, I did. Wow. Sorry. After the Fall of New York.
All right. Sorry about that, guys.
Ernesto Gastaldi. Shut up. Death Walks on High Heels. Yes, it does. And The Great Alligator. Produced by Carlo Ponti. Dr. Savigio.
Dr. Zhivago.
Oh,
Dr. Zhivago.
Zhivago. Oh, Blood for Dracula. Okay, that one I know.
Dr. Zhivago is very famous, man.
Yeah, well,
I would still
Dr.
fuck
Strange.
that up because
I haven't seen
it. I've heard it, but I've never seen it typed out like that. So I'm
all right. So, are we ready for me to butcher this?
Yes. Let's do this.
Well, it's not terrible. So, Susie Kendall, the Berg with the crystal plumage, to Sir with love as Jane, Tina Almont, Malicious, the Nude Princess as Daniela, Luke Miranda, Silent Action, Destruction Force as Roberto, John Richardson, Black Sunday, 1 million years BC as Franz,
not Hans.
Roberto
Bisacco.
Bisacco, there we go, close enough. Hands of Steel, Secrets of a Nurse as Stefano Vanzi, Ernesto Colli, Creeping Death, the Anarchist as Gianni Tommaso, the street vendor. I like
the street vendor. Thank you
the street vendor.
Because you know what?
I don't even know he had a name.
Wouldn't have known who the fuck he was.
Never known he's got a last name. He doesn't even have just a name. He's got a full fucking name.
Yeah, and I don't remember hearing his voice or his name ever.
No. Right. Angela Covello, Tales of Erotica. Yeah, that's what this movie was. Baba Yaga as
Baba Yaga.
Katia. Carla Brait, Escape from the Bronx, The Case of the Bloody Iris as Ursula. Conchetta Arioldi, The Strange Vice of Mrs. Worth. There we go. The Cousin as Carol Peterson. Patricia. Oh God, that was terrible. I don't know how to pronounce that last name.
Audiatori.
Audiatori. Okay, close enough.
Audiatore.
I'm Italian and I'm fucking
I'm not.
Figure it
I'm
out.
not Italian.
Shoot the living, and pray for the dead. Indian Summer as Flo Florence Heineken. It's the name of a beer.
They were drinking Heinekens too.
They were. Luciano Bartioli. There we go. The Suspect, Sahara Cross as Peter. Gianni Greco, The Sexbury Tales as George. Luciano de Ambrosis, The Children Are Watching Us, The Heart and Soul as Inspector Martino. Carlo, somebody give me that last name.
Alighiero.
Bird, thank you very much. The Cat O' Nine Tails, The Silent Action is Uncle Nino.
All right. Music by...
That took me a bit. Sorry.
Is that really right? Am I going to say this wrong? I feel like...
yeah, you're going to say it right.
Guido?
Guido.
Is it? I don't know, dude. All right.
Guido.
Guido Marzio de Angeles. I'm going to fuck this up way worse than Bob did. A Blade in the Dark. Hey, and The Last Shark. Cinematography by Giancarlo Fernando. Warrior of the Lost World and Troll 2. Ba-dum-bum. Edited by... Oh, I'm going to fuck this one up. Ingenio. Chad, is that? Help me out with that one.
Hold on, I'm replying to Scoob.
Oh, you're fine. Ingenio Alviso, The Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah.
For a few dollars more, spaghetti westerns at their best. Effects and makeup by Mario Villarreal, Django, and Dr. Zhivago. Distributed by Interfilm. Runtime of 95 little people. Rating of R. Budget, we don't fucking know.
Yeah, I couldn't find.
Hey,
but at least I found how much it made in America.
But it did grow. Okay, so this is America. Thank you for noting that. In America, it grossed $735,000.
Yeah, it actually mostly went to like drive-in theaters.
I can see that.
It often played on like a double bill with Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
This shit's playing after midnight at a fucking drive-in, dude. Because with the amount of titties in this film, to which we're here at general discussion, so let's fucking discuss, gentlemen. So,
I mean,
I'm not
to start with?
I was very confused, and I thought I might have turned on a softcore porn for the wife and I to enjoy when I first got into this movie.
Yep, Steph said the same thing. She's like, I'm confused. Like, was the guy trying to make a porno? Was he trying to make a horror film?
I think he was just trying to enjoy a three-way with a weird little fucking porcelain doll, which, I'm not here to kink shame by any means.
Hey, you want that, go for it. But I mean, I only watched this like by myself because I just had the time. I turned it on and I'm like, I said torso, right? That's a torso, but that's not what I'm supposed to be watching, is it? Like I was like, I mean, I'm not going to argue with it, but I'm like,
okay, so this movie, the meme that writes it down perfectly or fits it perfectly is mark me down as scared and horny, because that's how you're going to fucking leave this movie.
Yeah.
You're going to want to go to your significant other and be like, listen, I'm scared and horny. You need to help me with one of them.
But, all right,
you know what that just makes me go, hey, Marge, I was just watching women's volleyball on ESPN.
All righty. So, all in all, and the nudity is fantastic, and I'm sure we'll talk much more about it, but the movie in itself is actually still a fun movie.
Yeah,
fear boners in its worst. Thank you, Scoos.
Yes,
he's got a fear boner.
Love it.
Raging.
But yeah, no, this is actually a good horror movie with all of it.
Now
it's a really good horror whodunit. Even
oh
actually,
my god, the
yes.
whodunit part of it is fantastic. The amount of red herrings they throw at you is ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll find out in my notes that even the cast didn't know who the killer was.
Yes, I saw that, and I thought that was really cool. The director, unless the director was just pulling that shit and was like, because I don't fucking know, so we're just gonna write it at the end. Which
you never know.
Is funny enough, because that's how the fucking in the last week's movie, Chad, you weren't here, but that's how that went down inside the movie. So
really,
yeah, it was because the guy was writing music for a horror movie, and the director would not let anybody see the ending of the movie because she didn't want to give it. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was similar.
And also, this is a movie we've watched a lot of different Italian so far, even within the time we've been on the show. This is one that you can follow.
Yes.
And I know that might not seem like somebody said, well, you can follow. I'm like, no. You can actually follow this, and it plays out nicely.
Now there are a few spots, and I will say, like, there's one, and I believe it was in the square, but it was, and I'm going to be terrible with the names because I actually watched it in Italian, so I only watched it subtitles.
That was the only way I could find it.
Right.
With
Which,
subtitle, yeah.
Honestly, in comparison to last week's dubbing, I preferred it.
Yes.
Way better. The acting felt way more natural.
I feel like you end up paying more attention to the movie, not less, if you have to read subtitles too.
So
yes,
because wait, if you have to, you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because like the wife she didn't like it at first because she's like, I don't know about this. I'm like, well, you need to start watching anime more, which I also said to Heather too.
Yes, I saw that.
No, it was it was good, but there was one part where there was a character, and I'm gonna say it was one of the brunette ladies, and I think it's the one who ends up getting killed, who gets like taken to that weird like 3-way fucking barn in the field.
That was the part that really
so that
confused me.
That was a little
yeah.
It was like right all around in there, and then but it was like right before that she was like, she saw this girl in a scene, and then there was a next scene, and then they were like, hey, I haven't seen you in forever. But they never really tell you like how much time passes, or at least that I personally caught. So I was very like, was this weeks, days, hours? Like the way she acted, it seems like it would be a couple weeks almost. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I know from the time the first person was killed, then it shows that was like a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think a week passed between the first two killings.
But it was just, there was nothing in between those two scenes of those people together, or to me at least, to tell me like, hey, just besides her saying, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. But it was just like, well, how much time has passed? Like, and we're gonna get a little spoiler territory now. It's not necessarily a really rag on the movie, it's just more of I wish. But I love the killer's basic ski mask design, right?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get enough of that.
Right.
That was my gripe. We got two scenes that I particularly remember. Maybe there's one I'm forgetting, but there's the puddle scene, which is fantastic, and then there's the beginning car scene, the car sex scene, right? And then everything else goes to like a weird like,
you don't see.
We're not going to show just the neck down, like, which is cool. Because you got a lot of guys who fit the same frame and almost look very similar in this movie.
Yes.
Playing red herrings out the ass, dude. So you just like, there's the doctor, there's the dude who ends up getting strangled, then there's like another fucking random guy, and then there's the killer in himself. So it's
there's even the scarf salesman that they kind of implied.
Yeah, he's kind of even built like that, dude. He's got like the same kind of chins. I mean, he's got the weird sweaty hair that's like balding.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this movie was, and maybe that's why, and TJ was right. This is a slasher film, so it definitely would appeal to us more in comparison to like what we've watched prior.
Yeah, no, it does, and it's because it's also, like you just said, a great mystery too.
Mm-hmm. What makes it giallo? I'm still lost on that. Is this technically giallo?
Yes,
it is.
Yeah,
yes.
All these ones that we have, man, are technically giallo. What makes them giallo? I'm still trying to figure that out.
That's a very good question. You know, I am going to Google giallo right now. You guys continue discussing
because
see what the technical.
Okay. And so here's one thing that I know is a running thing, and this is definitely way more of an LCE question for anybody who knows what LCE is or doesn't know, for that matter. That's Lights, Camera, Exploitation. That's another show on this network. You should go check them out. They get way more into depth in this shit than we personally do. But our man Brody, who comes in and out here, he definitely knows a little bit about it. And I know like sometimes there's like themes, like running themes in giallo. People do dumb things. There's always for some reason like an overabundance color of yellow, which I question. Is it giallo films that are yellow, or is it just Italy in the time they really like yellow? So just
giallo is actually Italian for yellow.
It is.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
What up, Smiling Octopus?
Howdy.
Hold on. I'm here.
Oh,
Here we go.
Oh,
Pod Boss
shit.
is here.
the Pod Boss is here.
Yeah,
to
get the
drop
expert
some
in.
knowledge.
Okay, so
Speaking of
it's
LC,
either 50s or 60s. There were a series of German films, also known as Creamies, which featured which focused more on like the mystery aspect of the story. So those were more in Germany. So in Italy, some of them were adapted into stories featuring a yellow cover. And
okay,
like Chad said, yellow in Italian is giallo. So
okay,
being associated with the mystery and the color yellow, they just started referring to themes with heavy mystery components as giallo. So they associated that genre with that color because of the color of those books. If you type in giallo books, most of them are going to come up yellow books with the similar type of art style you see on the movie posters.
Okay.
Which I
That
dig
would
the
make
torso
sense.
poster. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Thank you, boss man. That was very
Yeah,
informative.
thanks for the knowledge bomb. That was
Thank you
awesome.
very
I appreciate
much.
it.
Yeah, so
I feel like I actually do understand what it means a little bit.
there's kind of like a transition phase, and like what we know as slashers really kind of spawned, as we know, in the 80s and stuff. But like,
right.
the transition is midway through the 70s. Black Christmas, I'd say, is probably the most one. But like this one, what is it? What year is this? 73.
73.
Yeah, definitely a lot more slasher elements in this than other Jolly. This stock and slash stuff. There's another Mario Bava film, Blood and Black Light. Like, what is it? Chad, you know what I'm talking about.
Did we just say it in our thing?
Are you talking about Bay of Blood?
No, Lace. It has some.
Oh,
lace
Blood and Black Lace.
Yes, Blood and Black Lace. I think that has a lot of slasher elements too. That's kind of like the murder by numbers type thing.
Nice.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
But when you talk about like the bright colors and stuff, that's more Argento. He kind of started that with
Okay.
Burp
So
the
you're
Crystal
talking the
Plumage
actual
and
lighting.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
more Argento.
Well, see, I was just speaking like when I noticed the yellow, it's just everything is yellow, like the wallpaper, the decor, and I'm just like,
Oh,
is
that's
that
just the time, the period.
Yeah, I was like, is that just Italy? Like maybe they're just really into yellow. Like I guess that was my lost.
Yeah, when you venture away from Argento Giallo, you're gonna see less and less of that style. Like with like the colors and stuff. That's just what separates him from the other people and allows him to stand out with other people in the genre. Him, Sergio Martino, Enzo Castellari, folks of that nature are really people that allowed to develop their own style. Still good Giallo films, just completely different than what you see from Argento.
Awesome. Well, thank you very kindly, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. So that was the boss man, TJ Bowser, which you can catch on Lights, Camera, Exploitation, which we mentioned earlier. So hell yeah.
I really love the fact that we had that like disembodied voice just kind of floating around.
Right?
Like,
Yeah,
we need the picture of God from fucking
Monty Python.
Monty Python. Yes, dude. Like every time. I'm gonna goddamn download that right now. Anyways, so I mean, this movie was fantastic, dude. Like it was.
Yeah, it was.
I enjoyed it. There was
a lot of style, and I think what you mentioned with all the different color, like the yellow wallpaper, I think that's kind of like a little nod, a little tip of the hat to the Giallo paperbacks that they had the yellow coloring. That would be my guess, anyway.
I mean, there was a lot of stuff like I was just like, oh, but then I got to remember this is 73. You got to take it with the time. I was not expecting the weird like sex barn. I guess like where everybody's just like fucking and having three ways.
That was a product of the times,
right?
This was still the hippie movement was still strong.
Absolutely, and that's why I was just kind of like, all right, 73 or so, which was funny. So they're showing all this nudity and everything, but given part of the time, and our beloved Scuba talked to us about this earlier, so I got to throw this out there for sure. We still couldn't see women kissing. They still blocked that out in this film. They did it very artistically, for sure. But we could see women rubbing on each other naked and all this other shit. We could see opening scenes of three ways. But man, we cannot see ladies kissing.
Can you guys hear me or see me?
You are
I
paused.
hear you,
sir.
but
I
you're
can hear
paused.
you.
My network connection dropped to 0, and I don't know.
Oh
what
yeah,
the
you
hell's
were in
going
the
on.
fucking red hard.
Okay, let me get out of here and refresh. Give me like 2 minutes, guys. I
No
will be right
problem,
back.
sir. You're fine, bud. You're fine.
We also mentioned this before briefly. You know how you said like certain Argento films or whatever, like they're generally stupid characters, technically.
Sometimes.
Colorful.
Yeah. This one, they were all pretty on a good like level playing field. None of them really had too many stupid moments.
Martino approaches, since Chad's gone, I'll fill in. Martino approaches his stories more realistically, definitely more grounded approach. I think Argento is more theatrical in the way he writes his characters, in a more entertainment type of stuff. For example, in Bird with the Crystal Plumage, there's an eccentric artist that eats cats. So
what?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it gets crazier from there in Trauma. Yeah, I don't want to ruin stuff. It like the monkey. You guys saw Phenomena.
Oh yeah, dude. The monkey.
That's honestly just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to weird stuff. But like, I recommended a couple films earlier in the week to Bobby. I don't know if you got around to the one that you were interested in about.
No, I ended up being out, so I did not. But it's on I have it on my list.
But those, other than Giallo, that kind of blends the genres of poliziotteschi, Italian crime film, police film. So that kind of has elements of both, which is interesting as well. But like you said, it's definitely different than Argento films because it doesn't have the eccentric characters.
Which, you know what? Maybe that's why I was misrepresented, because we started with Argento. So that's just kind of all I knew. So, you know, but now obviously like expanding the plate a little bit. And you called this one before. You said this was a lot more slasher elements, so it would fit our bag, and it did.
You guys talked about The Mask right before I.
Oh my God,
yes.
And like I said, that was one of the things I was just most disappointed in the movie is we didn't get more of The Mask.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wanted at least one more good scene of it, and I understand, you know, you wanted definitely with the whodunit, and they did well with that as well.
Yeah, I absolutely love the way that the killer looks in Torso. It's just compared to the other Giallo of the time, completely different look. Completely different look.
So when, and this is going back, but when you had us doing, you were on the motorcycle one, that was more 80s, right?
That was Nightmare City, right?
We did a couple of them. We did like 3 or 4.
No, that was Nightmare Beach. The motorcycle one is Nightmare Beach.
Yeah. Nightmare City is a completely different movie.
Yeah, that's getting remade right now.
What's the one?
I'm not sure how I feel about that, because I've seen the original, and I feel like there was a great premise there, but for me it fell just a little short.
So wait, the one you guys just said, was that the one where they killed that girl on the playground in the beginning? What was that one? Remember there was a girl.
Oh, that's Night
Carousel.
School. That is
that's Night School. That's it. Yeah,
that is like a slasher film that has Giallo elements.
Yeah,
it's like this in reverse.
Yeah, but that was 80s, right?
Yes.
Okay,
that was later in the cycle.
That was a great movie. That was one of the ones that stuck with me because I liked it.
Yeah,
that was the one that had it was the lesbian principal, right? She was the killer.
Mm-hmm. Cuts off the heads.
Yeah. Chad, you remember that, Chad, or no?
No, it's not.
Night School.
In the beginning, there was a girl stuck on the carousel, and the killer was just screwing with her with a knife.
Oh, I remember.
Like, slashing her.
I was gonna say, just go back and watch that scene. You'll be like, we
remember
that.
Yeah, that was a good.
I knew we reviewed it, but I don't remember. I couldn't remember. Then you mentioned that
was a couple years ago. So.
Yeah.
A few more under the belt now.
Chad, do you notice any similarities to the project I'm working on and the killer in this film?
I did.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, a little bit. Yeah.
God, I love Torso.
It was good. Thank you, Chad Daddy, for picking it. It's one that
I'm very happy you guys liked it.
Do you have other films from the genre and era, Chad, on the way up? Or
we're doing Deep Red next week.
Yes, we are.
Profondo Russo.
Which I know that is one of Brody's personal favorites. And speaking of,
that's all well and good, boys, but Katie's cutting in. Snip fucking snip. Well, howdy fucking doody there, gentlemen. It is all your DKB here back for another episode of Gore and More, and I'm here to talk to you about Torso. Give you my little fucking 2 cents on this Giallo film. Now, this is my second viewing. I couldn't really remember much about it the first time that I'd seen, but it was really good to go back and watch this again. Yeah, let me just start off to say that I love the overall design of the killer. It's very basic. It's just a mask, but it just looks so fucking creepy and intimidating. Especially those exterior night scenes when we get to see him peeking around fucking corners and stuff. For instance, there's this one fabulous scene where he stalks a hippie through the woods, and it's probably about, I don't know, dusk or whatever. And yeah, they follow this bird through the fucking forest, and right at the edge she sees a silhouetted serial killer wearing the mask, and the cinematographers do this really cool it's like a Kubrick feel of a not so much a quick zoom, but it's sort of a medium zoom pace to reveal this silhouetted serial killer in the distance, and I just think it works extremely well. That's probably my favorite kill of the movie as well, how he was able to strangle her in the puddles and then turn her over, and not only that, just to finish her off and poke her fucking eyes out. Yes, I did cringe at that scene, but it's a lovely touch onto what this serial killer does to the bodies. He mutilates them after he strangles them to death with this handkerchief, whatever the fucking you want to call it. So yeah, the cinematography, this is actually a really good film to look at, especially in 1973. I guess the whole aesthetic of the locations themselves, the exterior shots, even interior shots of the town, and the rooms that we are placed in. I mean, the camera really knows how to justify making a small room feel overly big for these characters, and I think it worked extremely well. What else? I had a little bit of a problem with some of the scenes dragging on for too long. There's a fair bit in between that sort of, it doesn't really, it just more so gives these characters more dialogue. I will say that they do fill it up with some free titties. I love me some free titties. There's a fuck ton of free titties in this, actually. So that's a bonus. But yeah, I still think it's a great film. I guess that I've been spoiled with Argento so much lately that it's sort of hard to come off Argento films to actually get back into something a little bit different in the giallo genre. But yeah, I still find it's a really good watch. What else? I think that's all I need to fucking say about this film. If you haven't seen it, definitely go suss it out. Today I'm going to have to give it a Gore score of I'll give it a 3.4. Anyways, your DKB signing out, and I'll catch you motherfuckers next week. Cheers.
Cheers, Mr. Brody.
Thank you, buddy.
His on the dialogue, yeah, that's definitely true. There could have been some better and much more dialogue with the people instead.
So I'm assuming you all watched Italian with English subtitles then?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Absolutely. Which personally, like after last week's where the dubbing was just very atrocious.
It is
spots.
It is funny.
Nice. Like
it's funny you bring that up because I started watching the movie on the Arrow app and it's in Italian, but there's no subtitles. I couldn't figure out how to turn the subtitles on if it even has subtitles on Arrow.
It does. So there's sometimes it has the English, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay, so I just closed it and watched it on Shudder anyway. It's
not to skip ahead or anything, but
I got the Arrow disc, so
yeah,
I'm debating getting that now because there's a lot of sweet bonuses that come on it.
Do you have any other Giallo of the time other than Deep Red?
The one we just did was but that was 80s, wasn't it? No, or was that late 70s? Was that 70s?
Chad, Don't Torture a Duckling from Lucio Fulci. Why don't you have that on here?
I mean, we can throw it on there easily.
Well, if you're just doing stuff that's other than Argento, I know that you're a Fulci guy. I don't think.
I mean, that's a good possibility. You know,
I mean, that's even different than Martino. Like that guy's just tonally dark with his Giallo. Like he touches on like kids getting killed and stuff.
Oh, Fulci, he's dark on
which.
everything.
Thank you for mentioning that, because this movie had a hilarious scene of a child getting yeeted off a cliff. And that kid got fucking shocked, dude. The scene cuts were hilarious, but
that was hilarious because it's supposed to be like somebody falling,
right?
And you could just tell that dummy was just thrown,
right? Like that thing was like long,
and the scream that went with it was even better.
It was, which I mean, you know, it's fitting how, spoiler once again, how the killer dies, because obviously, you know, it's the same way he gets thrown off a cliff, but
I don't think you have to say spoiler, Johnny. This movie's been
I
around
know.
long enough.
Yeah, this movie's actually older than me.
It's
Fair,
older than all of
but
us.
once again, I never saw it till this watch, so you know.
The really funny thing is the first time I watched this, and I told, I think I mentioned in the chat, was I found it in a bargain VHS bin at Walmart 20 some odd years ago.
No shit.
Yep.
Walmart coming in clutch with the good shit.
I saw it. It was like $5, and like, this looks good. So I was happily
Do you
right.
still
about
have that VHS?
I do somewhere. It's packed away in the garage.
Is it, what cover is it? Is it the same yellow cover? Like with the song?
No,
Oh.
it's God.
It wouldn't have had that. No,
No.
cover.
Dude, that shit's sweet. I love that poster.
This would have been the Anchor Bay release back.
Ah,
Back in the day.
Yeah.
alrighty. So we also have a video from our missing comrade, but Mr. Scuba Steve.
Hey, what's up? It is your host with the ghost, the Duke of the Dead, the Prince of the Paranormal, the Ghost Daddy, the Cryptid Keeper.
Why isn't it Scuba Scoop?
I'm here to talk to you today about
Scuba Scoop?
1973's Torso.
Ooh.
I like
You heard
it.
that plot summary, right? The one the
Oh,
boys
ice
read
cream.
earlier? Well, for me, this movie was nowhere near as exciting. I can see how this movie left an impact on other films, though, especially in this genre.
Better on those
And
edits,
I appreciated
Steven.
it for what it was. I have to say it was a lot better than a lot of the other Italian cinema films that we've reviewed so far. It has tons of violence, which I love, and boobies galore. Like, is that what Italy's like? If so, I know where I want to retire. I want to go there. Like I said, while I did enjoy this movie, I feel like the first half just kind of dragged on so much. It spent a lot of time up in the kills, which was great, but there was like tons of like nudity. But there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, who doesn't love nudity? I love
Right?
nudity. But there
He's
was,
got a
like,
point.
You can tell he
It was like
recorded this at
I was
work.
saying, if
Yeah.
you're wondering why Steve is whisper, like whisper
Second
talking,
half-
it's
second
because
half was
he's
a little bit more enjoyable.
he works at a
especially when
school.
the killer offs everyone at the
Can't be
villa
talking about
and then
titties.
starts like sawing at that one girl with the hacksaw. I wish we would have seen a little bit more of that, but that was really awesome. But then it just shot straight back down, and like absolutely nothing was happening.
Does this
The
say I
twist
don't like
made sense, kind of.
ItalianFilms.com?
And it delivered a, you know,
What?
like what the fuck? Because I didn't expect it. Come on, we all thought it was Stefano. Let's be real. But like the final standoff between Jane, the doctor, and the killer, it just feels
Yes,
like
it does.
incredibly. There was nothing like it was like all low stakes, you know, for that point. In
he
the
did tell
movie.
us to read the bottom.
And it had so much potential to be like this, like.
He watched
Just
Phenomenon and it
awesomeness,
ruined
and
him.
it just fell short for me, man. And I don't know if it's just I don't appreciate this style of film or what. It just, you know, it just felt like, particularly up to that point, there had been next to no action when the killer finally revealed himself. But this movie is packed with nudity and idiots making bad decisions and some gore, and who can't appreciate that? So on to our questions. I watched this on Shudder. Douche of the film was definitely Stefano. My favorite kill was the Duke kill because it was like super ridiculously done. I laughed. The best scene was the murders at the villa, I think. Even though we didn't get to see the kills, I thought the aftermath was pretty awesome. The opening scene did hook me in. It was automatic.
I mean, how could it?
I mean, yeah, how can it
Yeah,
not?
no doubt.
Most attractive character, I'm going to have to go with Danny because, I mean, she's brunette and she was smoking hot. The score did set the mood for this type of film. I think it fit very well. Can't think of a best song. My favorite character was the scarf vendor. Homeboy tried to blackmail the killer, and the killer said, nope.
Yeah, like, why would that dude ever think that was going to work out for him?
Acting was
Because
not
people are
horrible.
idiots.
I know.
And
People just want.
I'm glad that it was
did the torso
in
music,
Italian
Chad?
subtitle, or it had subtitles, but it was in the original Italian language because I finally got to see the film.
Guido
and the
Maurizio
acting, the way it was
De Angelis.
supposed to be.
Thank you.
The acting wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. I felt like it was just kind of like over dramatic at some points, which I guess, I mean, maybe that's one of the tropes of this type of film. Cinematography, I didn't notice anything extravagant about it. It was good though. It was good. The premise was entertaining, a very entertaining premise. And for the 4 R's, I'm gonna say rewind because it's not a horrible flick. I may watch it again one day. It's not one of those ones where I'm just like, absolutely not. I'm not gonna watch this again. So that's my review.
There's
for the
enough
film. I can't wait
titties to
hear what the
keep
boys have to say
Scoob
about it.
satisfied.
See you guys next week.
Yeah, but
Scoop's score is a 3.
I was like, wait, I for some reason thought that like guy was going to shoot it, but I'm like, wait, why is that?
I was
going
waiting
there?
too. It's raining threes.
That's right. All right. So Brody was a 3.4. And
Yes,
we got
smiling octopus.
You either like the genre or you don't. You either get it or you don't.
I can tell you.
I
I'm
don't know,
definitely gonna
man, because like this
I'm
one
gonna
I
dis-
really like.
Yeah, I'm really going to disagree with him because, especially with the cinematography, I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
Again, it depends on how much slasher elements is in it for you guys.
It might be. It
Probably.
might be. I can appreciate Argento's lighting, though. I always did like that part of the
Nobody has style like the Master of Macabre.
But
This is true. This is true.
I mean, we do appreciate a good Kundi. Don't get me wrong.
I was going to bring up Kundi, Master.
Yeah. Kundi never has done no wrong.
We haven't
I
done a
stand by
Kundi
that.
film in a while, have we? I think we're running out of Kundi horror films.
No, there are.
Oh, no.
plenty
there's a
out-
ton.
there's,
Oh,
there's
okay.
more plenty of Kundi out there. We just know for the horror.
We could do a whole month of Kundi.
We could do a whole year of Kundi,
Ooh, don't tempt me.
but it would be mostly non-horror. That's the thing.
I wonder if
Nothing wrong
Strip
with
Nude
that.
for
We're watching
Your
Back to the
Killer
Future,
has more
motherfucker.
tits.
Well,
Wait, what's
Say
that,
that
buddy?
again, TJ?
I wonder if the film Strip Nude for Your Killer has more tits in it than this.
Scoop said
That
at
was an
one point-
older
I think
one,
it
right?
does,
That was 60s,
actually.
Hmm.
Didn't you guys cover that?
No, I've been
Oh, you
debating
didn't?
doing that.
Oh, I thought you did. Okay.
That movie's pretty good too.
Yeah. I like.
You know what I loved about this is not a single one of those women wore a bra.
Nope.
No, not
I-
a lot of bras in Italy.
Mm-mm.
No,
That's okay.
they don't. No, they don't.
This was the whole free love time too, so it was all about women empowerment. So they were burning their bras and shit instead of wearing them.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with
Hey,
that.
yeah.
Absolutely. All righty. So we got one video from our fan, from Heather. Let's see what she's got to say.
Hi, Gorehounds. This is your redhead of the dead, Heather, here to talk about the movie Torso. First thing I would just like to talk about is my favorite scene. So that was in the woods when the killer's, chasing down the brunette.
How
I loved
it
everything
not
about
be,
that
dude?
scene. I loved the lighting.
So good.
I loved the score. I thought the girl did great acting. She really looked terrified.
back.
I loved the crawl through the mud. And I think I'm actually going to say that's also my favorite kill, is him shoving her face in the mud and suffocating her, because that's pretty brutal. It's a pretty miserable way to die. And we as an audience get to actually be there.
Am I the only one
for
that
the
would love
whole
to see
full
like
process
somebody in like
of the chase
full
down and the
ghost face
kill,
cosplay sneaking
whereas
down those
a lot
stairs and
of
creeping up
this
behind
movie
her?
was off screen. So I think I'd say
Imagine
that's
if you
my favorite
just saw
kill.
that written video right now as you said that.
I wanted to say favorite chick
Right with
because there's a lot of very beautiful women in this movie. So I'm sure that
It's Italy.
you guys are going to have lots of different answers because there's so many beautiful women. But I was just
All
going to
the
go with the
brunettes.
redhead from the very beginning.
All of them.
The first female victim. I just thought she was gorgeous. And of course, that rack was, whew. Okay.
She did have a nice rack.
oh,
That was
and
nice.
Yeah, I think they
favorite
all did,
camera
honestly.
shot I had was just that shot from the bottom of the well when he's going to dump that guy's body. That just looks so cool, like from under the water. I don't know. I love that.
That was a pretty cool shot.
That's pretty much all I really wanted to say. I wanted to try to keep it short this week. And it was nice being part of the podcast again this week. Sorry I missed last week. And I'm going to give it a 2.4.
Oh, she
right.
went a little lower than I
Thanks,
expected.
guys. This is your redhead of the dead saying I'll eat your brains later.
2.4.
Oh,
Two
thanks,
low
Heather.
scores. I think this movie deserves it a little higher, but we'll discuss
Yeah,
that when
this
we
deserves a lot more.
when,
love
when
than
we
what
get
they're
to that
getting.
point. I'll discuss that.
All right.
'cause-
It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
everybody's bag. That's why we
No,
are
it
here
doesn't.
to discuss.
still.
All right. Okay. So we got everybody's vids out of the way, Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
We've discussed. Is there anything else we should discuss or that we forgot to discuss? Thank you, Boss Man, once again for hopping in and giving us a breakdown on the film type in itself.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we love.
I feel like I
love
actually learned something today. Can you increase it to a 2.8? We will allow it because you are in the chat. So we'll go with a 2.8 for Heather.
Yeah, if you want to change it, as we're recording, yeah, that's cool. We could do
Yeah.
that.
That is fun.
And nothing else to discuss here, but as we go through the questions, yeah, definitely.
I'm glad
Not for
I'm
me.
glad he brought up the kid because I almost forgot about that. But that was one thing Brody and I were talking about this morning. I was like, man, he fucking yeeted that kid, dude.
Literally,
Like,
I was like,
but the way he got thrown and then the placement for where he fell, I was like, wait a minute, dude. He would have been way the fuck over there.
he would have been way farther.
Oh, that shit was.
But it works.
And okay, last discussion thing is though the end fight. Very anticlimactic for my personal taste. I feel it should have been a little bit more of a scuffle. This might
But
I
did love that one like ninja kick that the doctor gave the fucking killer.
Bro,
yeah,
that was
pretty
amazing. He just
so
fucking
cool.
comes up with a flying fucking kick, and it's like, holy shit, Liu Kang, what the fuck, dude?
That and
that was
and I don't know why, but the scene where the one girl, oh god, was named Jane or whatever, the blonde girl, the American girl.
Okay, the girl upstairs that got locked in. Yeah.
So when she and I don't know why, but when she turned to go down the stairs and twisted her ankle and fell, I laughed so fucking hard just because of how completely random that was.
So all right. So you know how we talk about how sometimes there's like, as TJ calls it, colorful characters. Like there's just characters that just make decisions that don't make sense. Okay, if you just fucking twisted your ankle now. I've never fucking worn heels, and no, this isn't like a yes, I have. No, I've never worn heels. I'm a 300-pound man. I am not twisting my fucking ankle even for a joke.
No.
If you twisted your ankle, are you going to put fucking heels back on to walk around? Fuck no. What the hell?
You're not wearing heels.
Her foot would have been too swollen anyway. There's no way she could have put that shoe back on.
But I feel like you're setting yourself up for failure anyways, dude. You know what I mean? Like, and at first I was like, because the wife actually noticed. She's like, "Is she wearing heels?" And I was like, "Well, maybe that was the camera wasn't supposed to grab that. Maybe it was just like help her like with her walk." Nope. She literally is wearing heels because it's part of the story. And
that whole scene with her rolling her ankle and the kid yeeting off the cliff, those just both made me laugh.
But one of my favorite and it was like a really small part of the scene with her once again is when she's trying to get out after the killer locks her in, and she's struggling with the key. No. And she pokes the key out because she's trying to catch it on the newspaper, and the killer's there, and he puts the key on it very subtly as like I fucking love that, dude.
That was I like that very much.
Word. I'm trying to think anything else. I mean, if you like slashers, definitely check this out, man. The end scene, like Scoob mentioned, I feel like I should bring up. It was cool. I wish you saw the kills go down, but the fact that we get to see the aftermath and this dude just sitting butchering bodies by the day, or like, as long as taking his time, I should say.
I could imagine, like, not to jump too a little ahead, them doing that today, but if they do it gory but in subtle way, it would be fantastic.
So if it's today, this is just me, because you're in some big villa that's fucking empty, bro, I'm bringing a battery-powered DeWalt Sawzall, man. I ain't fucking around with that bone saw, dude. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to get this shit done, and we're going to get done fast.
I don't know.
But other than that, I mean, I think, Chad Daddy, do we have anything behind the curtain, sir? Oh, he is, Chad Daddy's a little muted at the moment, just technical difficulties. Speaking of which, I'm trying to think. I don't know anything, and I don't want to jump necessarily ahead. Oh, Chad did mention, and I'll bring it up again. Nobody knew who the killer was. None of the ladies in this, which kept the suspense the whole time, and made the red herring thing that was a chef's kiss. Just no.
Okay, I think he's done. Sorry, I had to mute because my dog was barking.
That was the beautiful thing about this movie is the fact that you don't know. You really don't know.
Correct.
Who it is.
All right, so Chad, what do we got some behind that curtain, buddy?
Okay, I got a little bit here. I unfortunately didn't have time to watch, hours and hours of interviews, behind the scenes stuff. Since it was such a nice weekend. Since it was such a nice weekend, we spent most of the time outside with the kids, letting them play.
It was a nice weekend.
Oh, it's a gorgeous weekend.
Yeah.
So The film was highly censored in English language countries. Because of this, parts of the English dub do not exist for the film. On uncut DVDs, these scenes are played with their original Italian language track and English subtitles. You're better off just watching it in the Italian with English subtitles anyway.
Yeah.
Although one thing really annoyed me, and I don't know if you guys noticed it, but any scenes with the blonde American girl were shot in English, then dubbed into Italian and subtitled with English.
Oh no shit! I did not notice that. To be honest, I did not notice.
I noticed it reading the subtitles and seeing her mouth matching up with the subtitles.
I didn't pay attention enough to her mouth because I just assumed they were all Italian, even though they said she was American. Like, you know what I mean? Like, huh? All right. So we didn't get a Donald Pleasance like dubbing himself over.
No, not like that. Dubbing himself into Scottish. During production, none of the cast was told who the killer was, and because of the high amount of red herrings in the film, many of the actresses were convinced it was someone else doing all the murders.
See, I like that. That's a good convincing call behind the scenes. I like that.
I love that because it gives you like a genuine reaction. You know, the way they're reacting and interacting with certain characters that may or may not have been the killer.
Especially for the one girl who thought her boyfriend, the guy got strangled. I fucking forget his name. Scoobs gave him douche, but like she easily could have thought that guy was the killer the whole fucking time until they finally killed him off. You know what I mean? So, especially like with that whole bush scene where like it was supposedly him creeping behind that bush when they're all sunbathing or swimming or whatever the fuck it was. Dude, can you imagine being the grocery guy? What a great morning that is, dude.
Right?
That's
three hot nude women in the front. Hey,
how are you? Here's your breakfast. Here's your milk. Here's your bread. Have a nice day.
Would have been even better if you just say,
"Here's your eggplant."
Oh, it looks like I'm overdressed.
Right?
That's how the porn. That's how this softcore porn ends.
There was a lot of dudes in this that were just like, they were way too thirsty to actually go talk to these women, dude. You know what I mean?
That whole town.
They would have not lasted 2 seconds.
They would all just be staring. I mean, they were literally all just staring creepily, dude. And I apologize to all women that for when men do that, because that is just,
that's wrong.
As a father of a daughter, I weep for the future.
You're going to be at the mercy of your own hands going,
oh
my fucking kill him. Dude. Don't fucking kill him.
Right? Like, yo, man, just listen. If you like a lady, little Gore tip here, go talk to her. It's really that easy. It's really that easy. And if she sees you looking at her, don't just continually fucking stare at her. At least acknowledge she notices you, smile, and wave. That's all you got to do. Don't make it fucking weird. Gore PSA for the week.
And if she does reject you, it's okay. You made an effort. Go home.
Right. Shoot your shot, then go shoot on her friend. Pow.
Exactly.
All right, Shay Daddy, what else we got?
Continuing on, Susie Kendall, who was British, was dubbed by American voice actress Susan Spafford.
Oh.
Yeah, I got a little tongue twisted saying that. Quentin Tarantino showed his print of the film at the 1995 QT Fest. His fellow filmmaker Eli Roth has cited the film as among his favorite gialli and an influence on Grindhouse and Hostel Part 2.
Okay, that would make sense.
That makes a lot more sense, looking back at the Hostel movies.
Plenty of sense, yeah.
Now, I never watched Hostel 2 because I fucking hated the first one, so...
You won't like the second one then. The second, I liked the first one the first time or two I saw it. After that, I couldn't stand it. But then I saw the second one. I'm like, no, this is terrible.
See, I actually liked both the first and second one.
Yeah, I never got it. I don't know, man. That just was not my type of horror, man. That whole like fucking torture porn shit. This is not.
Yeah, that was actually one of Bobby's picks for last year, and we had to veto that.
Was it?
Of course you did.
Dude, we don't do torture porn on here. Come on.
Yeah, that's why we will never do Saw series. So anybody listening, I'm going to tell you that right now.
Actually, if we did any of those, it'd be the first one, because the first one is almost giallo-like. It's almost
first
like
one, and then yeah. I still like the second one better than the first one, though. As fucked up as that, I don't know why. I think I just like the idea of the house.
I love the house. I love the booby-trapped house myself.
Yeah. Dude, the worst part. Now we're gonna go on a fucking random Saw tangent, even though we just said no.
I know exactly where you're going. The pit of
fucking
needles.
Dude. The little straw holders.
Oh, that was
I don't know what else
cool.
you would call them, but yeah, everybody knows. On the
Yeah.
top where you put your little straw through on your plastic thing when you go get a fucking drink. Oh man, when she puts her wrist through, oh fuck, nope. That and the
Wait,
needle
was that-
pit. I think the needle pit
The
was
needle pit was where I thought you were going. The string
No.
thing. Was that the second one or was that?
That was the second one because there was like a key up in this fucking
Yes.
thing, and she put her
Yes.
one arm up, but then when you try to pull it down, it was glass that fucking went into each side, dude. And then she's like, "Oh, well, I'll put my other arm in there and get my," and then so she like Chinese fucking finger cuffs herself essentially with her hand. Yeah, dude. It's been a long time, but I still remember that very vividly. It's just a fucking nasty scene.
Oh, it's a beautiful sight.
All right, back to titties.
I don't care. I like the Saw films. It's
Dude,
Yeah, they got some good shit on there.
The one with the dad was okay. With the mom working on him with cancer, that was like the fourth one, maybe third one. I don't fucking remember, dude. I lost so
third, I think.
That one, I think it was like okay. So by the fourth one, I think is where I like tapped out. I was like, yeah, or maybe whatever the one where what's his name was standing on a block of ice. There was like a trap of the dude standing on that might have been a fucking 5 for all I know. And yeah, that was.
I just
been a
remember
long.
the dude on the block of ice was the cop from the second one.
It was. Oh, it wasn't Wahlberg.
No, it
wasn't
Wahlberg.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. I thought he was in the first one. He wasn't.
No.
You're right.
No, the first one was
because his boy
Danny
was
Glover.
kidnapped in the second one, right? That's what it was. Yes.
Yeah, Danny Glover was the first one.
All right. Fuck Saw. Let's get back to Torso.
Yeah, seriously. Let's get on with this here.
Believe it or not, an alternate ending was shot with the killer surviving in the end.
Ooh. Off the cliff fall, huh? That might have been cool.
What cliff fall? Were you talking?
Isn't that how he died?
They didn't show how he died.
Dude, I swear to God, I saw you see a fucking little shadow like fall off the cliff.
I did not. I don't recall seeing.
Because Brody's like, wait, he fell off the cliff. I'm like, that's what I took it as. Like,
I didn't see anything like that. You just hear a scuffle and then you see the doctor come back. Like you hear somebody screaming.
All right, I'm gonna have to rewatch it, and if anybody's in the chat, maybe you noticed or didn't notice. But I swear to God, dude, you heard like a and then like you just like it wasn't like a like you.
By the way, I would like to point out my window is not open behind me. That is heavy ghost activity going on behind me.
Hot.
Yeah,
do you have floor vents?
No, the window is open.
I was
like, maybe you had floor vents. I was like, I don't know. That'd be cool.
Actually, the floor vent is right there too. So, like if the heat was on, you would be seeing them flutter.
Word. What else we got, Daddy?
George Anderson of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette deemed the film another display of softcore sex and seamy violence that might better have been kept abroad. Joe Baltacchi of the Philadelphia Daily News wrote, "Blood flows freely and limbs detach easily in Torso, a disagreeable Italian import with, not surprising, little to recommend it." And the LA Times' Linda Gross wrote that the film was a lazy suspense movie with a disjointed and loose screenplay. So just to give you an idea, the critics didn't like it. Critics usually don't like horror anyway. So
they never really do. And if they do, it's very rare.
Like that time Siskel and Ebert gave Critters 2 thumbs up.
Like I think it's very rare that critics,
or it's even like a movie, or it's even a movie like Silence of the Lambs. Like it's very rare.
Yeah, but a lot of times, like even critics in general consensus is completely way off base.
Mm-hmm.
Like anytime that you see critics love something, general consensus is no, it's garbage. And
it's usually a boring piece of shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Where critics are like, it's under 50%. And then it's like somehow you go to general consensus and it's like 80%. You're like, what the fuck is going? All right. Like, we like popcorn movies, man. You know what I mean?
Rigged. All rigged.
Yeah, we're not film snobs. We like popcorn movies, you know.
Like, dude.
Throw some blood and explosions and shit.
I can't wait for fucking Doctor Strange, dude. You kidding me? Like,
same.
Yes. So excited. All right. What else we got, Chad Daddy? Anything good?
The extended cat and mouse villa scenes between the killer and the final girl in the film's final 30 minutes have led to Torso being retrospectively recognized as a proto-slasher film.
I mean, I would consider it a slasher film, honestly. I would whatever.
Slasher
That's
film,
fine
for sure.
Definitely one of the earliest ones. And finally, the film was released with its original title in Italy on January 4th, 1973. Joseph Brenner Associates later distributed a recut and rescored dubbed version as Torso in the U.S., and the film became a success there on the drive-in and grindhouse circuits, often as a double feature with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I would love to watch that double feature.
Yes, I would too.
That would be a fantastic
one of the granddaddy.
Torso's definitely second window.
For
sure.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. Not for me. I would show Torso first just because.
No, I would
strong.
I agree.
Yeah, but dude, with that many titties, you can't show that shit at 9 o'clock, bro.
Yeah, you
I
can.
mean, maybe you can.
Don't you be
Kinda.
bringing the fucking
Yeah.
kids then?
No. Yeah.
That's it. Like that's it. You're not
No.
going tonight. This is
Because
mommy
you know what?
and daddy.
You're right. Because dude, if you're labeling it as a grindhouse show,
You should
then
not have
right
kids.
then and there, that should be enough warning to be like, listen, dude,
Yeah,
you're gonna
don't bring
see
the kids.
right. This is NC-17 potential territory here.
This is daddy trying to touch mommy's titty while he watches titties on screen. Okay.
That's what I'm saying, dude. This movie definitely was like, yo, I was almost forgetting I was watching a horror movie at some point. So I was like, kept looking at the wife. I was like, hey,
This is one of those rare times. This is one of those rare times we see more boobs than blood.
Yeah.
Not complaining.
I mean, there was
you're
for this
correct.
being a slasher film, basically, there was surprisingly a small amount of gore.
A lot more strangulation.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is fine. You know, that was his weapon of choice was a scarf.
Well, you know, they all like to be strangled at some point. Not that I would know.
Not all of them, but a lot of them. Anyways, Chad Daddy, what else we got?
That's it, buddy.
That's it. All right. So, gentlemen, we are on our questions, and I think we pretty much already answered this one.
Mm-hmm.
But where did we watch this, mother liquor?
On demand, Tubi.
Shudder, because I'm gonna go with the horror app of all.
I would, but the problem is it's only on my phone. I don't feel like watching this on a fucking small screen and my laptop. I'm lazy.
Put your laptop on your TV.
Again, I just said it. I'm lazy.
I was like, you have an HDMI cable, motherfucker. There's no way you don't.
I know. I do. I should start.
I literally have a tote of nothing but HDMI cables.
I think I'm going to leave
I
my...
Bro, you're a dad.
thing.
You have a whole tote of cables you'll never fucking use again, but you'll never get rid of.
No, because as soon as I get rid of one, I'm going to need it.
Fucking right. I've done it too. I was so mad, dude. It was a 9-volt fucking inverter. And I was like, finally got rid of a bunch of ones. And then I was like, it was literally like a month later and I needed it. I was like, I fucking started kicking boxes. I was so mad. All right. Douche of the film.
Stefan.
That was the boyfriend, right? That was the one who got strangled at the end.
No.
Honestly, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the two rapey dudes on the mopeds. Those are my picks.
Good pick.
Actually,
that's a good pick.
Because they were getting like.
And how funny was it when the one dude was chasing her through the swamp and just his bike just stopped dead and he flies over the fucking handlebars.
Flies right into the mud.
So my question was, not to get like weird on this, did she know she was going there to get into a 3-way?
I believe she had to have.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, but she was pretty cool with like them sucking on her neck and pulling her titties out. But it was when
she was.
And I mean, she straight up told him, like, yo, before you're taking my pants off, you take your clothes off, which my wife cheered. She's like, yeah, show me some dick. I've seen enough tits. And I'm like, you're never going to see, like, you might see dick. It's Italian. I don't know. I don't know if they do that. But then we had a whole discussion of, she's like, no, it's not fair because I can literally count the amount of movies I've seen actual dick in on my hand versus the amount that you get tits. I'm like, but you can't compare dick to tits. It's not the same.
No, it's not.
You compare dick to bush. That's how that goes. I know that's a totally 80s term, but it was just the first one.
By the way, despite all the titties you saw in this film, no bush.
No bush.
No bush.
There was that.
I was almost expecting to see
head.
I was almost expecting to see dick though. Honestly,
yeah,
like,
I wouldn't have been
sex.
surprised.
Like maybe not even full dick, but like you're gonna see a tip. You know what I mean? Like
if your wife really wants to see dick on movies, just watch Eurotrip. You see like hundreds of them.
Eurotrip. Oh, wait, I haven't watched Eurotrip for fucking forever, dude.
The part where they go to the nude beach, going to see nude women, and it's nothing but
nude men. Well, she was speaking. She was like, so it was funny because we actually started making a list. I was like, well, I know you see Kevin Bacon's dick in Wild Things. And she was like, well,
you see Bruce Willis in Color of Night.
Okay. She was like, you see Richard Gere in there's one where he plays a gigolo.
Good question. If TJ's still listening, would you consider Color of Night to be an American giallo?
I don't know if I've seen it.
Oh, it's a
really
really
watched
good
it, right? No, we haven't.
No, it's a really good one.
Okay. It's a horror movie, or is it more suspense?
Thriller. It's a suspense thriller.
Okay. Still would watch it. All right. Did we do douche? We're all good with douche.
Yeah, we did douche.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we all did. Favorite kill, man. If this isn't unanimous,
Nope, it's
the
not gonna be
woods.
unanimous.
Oh,
The woods kill for me. I
Nope,
love
Okay.
for
that
me,
whole, yeah.
Chad.
I got to go with the scarf salesman getting his head crushed by the car.
Ooh, all
Damn
right,
it.
that is
And
a
you know
good
what the
one.
funny is? You guys are literally both my choices because that's exactly. I was like, man, I can't choose because the puddle scene was fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
It was
that's a
dirty,
great scene
it
in
was
general.
gritty, it was nasty, it was fucked up at the end because now he's like feeling on her, she's dead, and it's like, oh, where's this gonna go?
Oh,
But he just gouged her eyes out.
Johnny, real quick, I just thought because you were having discussion
Go ahead.
about Dixon movies. Technically, in the HD version of Terminator, you do see Schwarzenegger's.
That's true.
Yes, you do.
You see him swinging away there.
I was watching Terminator the other day, dude. Randomly enough, I was on YouTube watching Never Hike Alone because I was doing Jason stuff, and that ended, and Terminator started playing for free, and I was like, that was one of those dad moments where I was like, well, I wasn't planning on watching Terminator, but I'm now watching Terminator, and I was fully fucking invested, dude, because I haven't watched that movie in so long.
But
it
yeah,
doesn't
no,
matter.
if your wife would like to see Arnold, she can.
That's true.
By the
But
way, I would like to throw out there that I consider Terminator to be a horror film.
Terminator is.
I consider it
slash
sci-fi
film.
horror.
It is,
Sci-fi horror.
But it's more horror than sci-fi. It has sci-fi elements, but it's definitely got a slasher kind of feel to it
with guns.
With guns.
With guns and a you know,
nice night for a walk. Which I love. So the guy he actually kills, the first guy out of those we're gonna go on a Terminator rant.
Bill Paxton.
No, not Bill Paxton. The other guy, the blonde guy who's like, wash day.
Oh,
no
clean, right?
Yeah. That dude plays a Terminator, essentially an alien Terminator in X-Files. And isn't that Arnold's like stunt double at sometimes too?
Not that guy. Not that guy.
That's
no.
Shao Kahn from fucking Mortal Kombat.
Brian Thompson.
Yeah. But in X-Files, dude, like he was a pretty jacked dude too. Like, you know what I mean? Like he definitely had one where he was like full on Arnold, and the episode was funny as fuck.
The guy who was his stunt double is Peter Kent.
See, I knew Bob would know. That was
he actually looks because he did Terminator, he did Commando, he did.
I'm pretty
T2,
sure Schwarzenegger has a few inches on Brian Thompson.
Does he?
Yeah,
I think so.
Schwarzenegger's not even that tall. He's honestly like
he's
6'1",
like
isn't he?
6 foot 6'1".
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, let's get back to Torso.
Yes.
We did favorite kill, best scene.
Okay, it wasn't my favorite kill, but the whole chase through the swamp was my best scene.
Ooh, good choice.
Favorite scene is the end when Jane is the last one in the villa, and that whole ending. Basically, I like that whole session.
Best scene. I mean, there's a lot of cool ones, man. That whole chase scene though through the woods, like Chad Daddy was right. Like that shit was, and I liked it because, man, you're gonna tell me, motherfuckers who watch Friday 13th didn't get elements from this movie alone because. When that dude is standing in the woods and you get the cool fog coming through and then he just disappears and shit. And it's like, come on, dude, that's full on Jason. Like,
dude, they almost directly ripped that off for the remake.
Oh, instantaneously, dude. Like, it was good shit. And then let's see if I got an honorable mention. I'm gonna have to go with the hack scene, dude, when like she's hiding, dude, the first time and he comes in and then like I think the food guy comes and then like, you know, he throws the food in there to make sure it looks like people are actually still there. Like those scenes are nice when she's trying to survive that. That'd probably be almost the third act, I would say, right?
Yeah, third act is that's
all right.
fine.
So yeah, full third act. All right, gentlemen. Easiest question on the fucking list. But,
it's so easy we can almost skip it.
Yeah, opening scene hook you in. You better fucking.
I don't know. Did it hook me in? Let me think about it.
Dude,
yes,
hooked me in and pitched a tent. All right. Most attractive character. Any of the women?
No.
Any specific woman. Any specific
of
one.
the brunettes.
Any of the brunettes, dude.
I have a specific one. I got to go with the girl that was chased through the swamp.
Yeah,
she was one of the ones that. Well, she was one of the ones in the three-way in the beginning too.
Mm-hmm.
She was,
which you didn't find out to the very end, but I just love their big.
Yeah, but that was such cool like reveal at the end. You were like, oh, it was those bitches he was banging. Like that's who he killed off.
It was almost a Saw-like reveal at the end.
Yeah, without the dramatic like dun dun dun. dun.
Without the music.
It was like subtle. Yeah,
absolutely. That was, yeah. She was delish. And also, I feel the one that was the lesbian one, she was also quite delicious too.
Not
She
bad
was,
as well.
Yes, she was.
All right. I normally would go with the redhead, but I don't know, man. The brunette's just they had it going on this one, dude. I don't know. The brunette, yeah. All right. The score set the mood. Yeah, I would think so. It was
the score was really good for this
okay.
movie.
So during the lesbian scene, I thought it got a weird little hokey.
It
definitely
really did.
It definitely started. It started with some nice jazz saxophone and flute, and it was like, ooh,
It was like 70s porn music.
yeah, we're getting low, get the low tones of the bass, and but then it started coming in with some like weird fucking wonky like waka 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 waka, and you're like, what the hell is going on here, dude? Like, this is walking down the street music, man. This isn't two chicks banging. But all right, gentlemen, I don't think we can really do best song because
I don't remember there being a song.
any, and if there was, we probably wouldn't know what the fuck it was anyways.
Yeah.
So, favorite character. I almost might have to agree with Scuba and say the scarf salesman because I really don't know any of the other ones that I cared for. I really did it.
The funny thing is, and this might seem like an odd pick for a character, but I'm gonna go for my favorite character is the little Italian village itself. The location, the locals. It was a character. You know,
Actually,
there was a lot of life that brought into
got
that.
a point there.
You're not wrong, especially at the end scene, man, where she's trying to communicate with the villa. You know, yeah, like you definitely see a lot of back and forth. I like those shots too. You know, that was cool.
That was favorite character.
That's a good one, Chad.
Yeah, that is a good one.
I was like, thanks for that setup. Fuck.
Yeah, thanks, you fucking nut.
Tough act to follow.
I honestly don't really I like them, but I couldn't pick a favorite. I'll be
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like
honest.
there was so many people that just got offed, and there's just so many people you didn't know who could potentially be the bad people.
If I honestly had to pick, it would be the doctor who came back to save the girl. Like that
Ninja Kick Doctor? Ninja Kick Doctor totally.
Yeah.
Ninja Kick
So then Ninja Kick Doctor it is.
That
Instead
dude,
of Witch Doctor, he's Ninja Kick Doctor.
The best thing is like that dude's just got a weird, creepy stare. But man, that dude could definitely be juggling women left and right, like easily.
He probably is.
He's a handsome man and he's a doctor, dude. Like, you know.
But he drove a piece of shit little Volkswagen Bug.
So did you notice the scrape marks on the side of that shit?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yes.
So that's just because like how tight and everything the streets of Italy and shit are. You know what I mean? Like everybody's just if you noticed in that the fenders had terrible scratch marks, dude, from just rubbing against the walls and shit. Like it was awful. But
I love how it got rear-ended by that big fucking truck, and it was just like a little tiny dent. You do that in today's cars, you're gonna fucking total them.
Totally, you'll lose half a car.
Yeah,
hey man,
it's gonna set off the airbags, and the 9 times out of 10 they'll just total it if the airbags are deployed.
What's the Doc Brown quote from Back to the Future 2?
Oh yeah,
59 Plymouth. This is a fucking crunch us like aluminum foil. Yeah, exactly. Alrighty, gentlemen. So we are on. Was it scary?
I would say a little bit, yes.
Yeah, actually, yeah, because it had some good mystery elements. Yeah, it definitely had some good scare factor.
Not to mention, like, there was just other people that were potentially scary besides the killer.
Yes,
which is just kind of shows you how fucked society is, regardless.
Yeah, because you got the two rapey guys on the motorcycles.
You got the other rapey fucking boyfriend dude, like
the rapey scarves vendor.
I don't know if he's rapey or he's just a perp.
No, he
could have been rapey. He was definitely a perp, but he could have been.
I mean, he was a perp because he was definitely like doing the ups. You know what I mean? Like he definitely would have mirrors on his shoes to look up.
He really would.
But I don't know if he'd go as maybe.
I do gotta give props to him for really, knowing who the killer is and trying to blackmail the motherfucker.
Yeah, but he picked a word. Like, you don't let that dude pick the location to meet up. Like, no. We're gonna meet up in the middle of the day in the square, homie.
And you're gonna leave it that way and have a nice.
You see that little bistro in the corner? We're meeting there.
Right.
The one that's really busy at lunchtime.
Exactly. Yeah, dude. Like, you need witnesses, man. Witnesses.
Oh yeah.
All righty, gentlemen. So does it hold up today?
Yes.
You know what?
Actually,
yes,
I would say.
I would
It does, but it's definitely a product of the times as far as like the whole scene with the little
Yeah.
hippie party.
And
Yeah,
the lesbian, like not being able to show girls kiss and stuff. Like, oh yeah, it's
it's got
okay.
some
That's a
age.
fair. That you know what? That's a fair take, Chad. It's a 50-50. Acting, not terrible.
It
Yeah,
wasn't over the top either. Everybody fit what
Yes,
they
it
were
wasn't
given.
it wasn't overly dramatic or ridiculous.
Yeah.
By any
Which,
means.
listen, I understand there are movies that require that, but there are some movies that have it and they don't belong there.
Yeah,
There's-
I can think of a few.
Yeah.
We're not gonna go back to February. All right.
Not.
So did you enjoy the cinematography?
I loved it. I
Wasn't
thought
bad.
I don't care what Scoobs. I'm going to disagree with him. I thought the lighting, the camera angles,
Yeah.
like keep it, especially like at the last act when the girl was trying not to be caught, and just all the shots of the killer, like you're seeing it from her point of view, and you can't see his head. You only see like an arm or a little bit of this.
Yeah.
Right.
I
You
thought
see
that was
the
really well
bits and
done.
pieces. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
and there was one specific shot, and I'm brain farting a little bit on exactly how it went, but it was like she walked through a doorway and you saw her continuing, but you saw it in the reflection. Like the way they did it, it was just a very smooth pan. And like, I don't know. I love shit like that. Like it's not much, you know what I mean?
That's almost a Dean Cundy kind of shot.
Right. It's
Yes,
it's
yes, it
just those
is.
little nuggets of like, ooh, we're gonna spice. Like we have a lady walking upstairs. How do we make this interesting? We're gonna show it in a reflection, reverse it. All right, I like it. Like I don't know, it works well. So.
I feel, well, real quick, with cinematography, one of my favorite best scenes for that is the wood scene where he is chasing her.
Yeah,
Loved
they
it.
had some nice pan shots in this,
So
or like
wonderfully lit.
not pan. I'm sorry, like almost like tracking shots. Like oh my goodness, I can't remember, but like it was one of the girls in the beginning. I think it was the one with the red hair. I brain fart on her name, but she was like the way she was just like walking down here, and then she would go up steps. And there was one where like it followed her coming up the steps, and it like it caught her there. It was a still, and then it like moved with her as she went into the next set of steps and like followed her up. Like just those nice little gradual takes and everything. Like I feel make it a lot nicer. Make it feel a little bit more gusto.
Feel
I
good.
can't disagree with that.
All righty, gentlemen. Where are we at now? We did so we are on premise, I believe, correct, right?
Yeah, and I
All
think
right.
it's a very well executed premise. I loved it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just should have been, I guess, a little more. What's the word I'm looking for?
I just wanted more mask. I just wanted more of him in the mask. That's my
Yeah,
slasher
of
vibe.
course.
That's for me personally. But
The premise, I feel, just could have been a little bit. It's executed good, but it could have been executed a little better.
you know what, man? It kept me guessing because I didn't realize who it was until like maybe 15 minutes before.
I don't
reveal.
mean
was
that like the fight and then towards the end like that.
Okay, here's
could have been
a
little
good
better.
example of how the premise worked. And I think, like I said, the second or third time I've seen it. It's been a long time since I've watched it. Was right after he killed Stefano and leaves the dead body right there on the doorstep.
Yes.
And you see the women scream, and then all of a sudden it's morning. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, did he just leave the body there? What happened? And then it shows, the body being buried. And then she goes downstairs and fucking everybody's dead.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I was hoping for that because I was like, wait a minute, they just cut that. Like, what? Which, yeah, you want to see that. And maybe
I think the fact that they didn't show it worked even better.
It made it stronger.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so this is actually kind of gonna lead into our next question. So for recycle, rewind, remake, or reboot, gentlemen, how do you go?
Rewind, but
I would not hate to see a remake if it's done by like you.
I would like to see a remake, and you could also rewind this.
Yeah, I would rewind. Love to see a remake. Yeah.
Now, the only thing I would going with me saying I want a remake, taking what Chad just said and not showing it. I want to see that, but show me it in a flashback.
Yes.
Already have it done, blah, blah, blah. And then when the killer talks about doing something or whatever, it goes back and you at least get to see it happen.
Yeah, you
know
see
what I mean?
him
Like
doing the damage.
Okay, remake it, but with the killer living at the end and getting away.
And change the killer.
Yes.
Fully change the killer. Leave the whole same like art professor and stuff.
So kind of like a My Bloody Valentine remake where they flip
a little bit.
the killer.
A little bit. Yes. That I thought, and that's one of the reasons I still love that fucking movie.
It's a great movie. Oh,
I love it because it was shot like 20 miles from me, so I can't.
Well, and it's
It's
Jensen
one of the
Ackles,
best
so, I mean,
Yeah,
how
remakes
can you
ever.
not love
By
Jensen?
the way,
easily.
super.
Yeah, speaking
Yeah.
of, right? All right, gentlemen. So we are going to rate this bitch, and we got 3 ratings in the board. So, Chad Daddy, if you want to start me off, homie.
I'm gonna give this a solid 4. As much as I love it, it's still. I almost hate to say it, but it could go with a little bit less boobs. Some of it was a little bit too gratuitous at certain times. It could have dealt with a little less boobs, a little more blood.
It's definitely one where you wouldn't be watching solo and like have somebody walk into the room because they're definitely gonna be questioning what the fuck you're watching.
Yeah. Oh
Yes.
God, yes.
Yes.
All right, Bob, what do you got, bud?
I'll give it a 3.5.
3.5, and I'm gonna go with also a 3.5. All right, so we need to divide this bitch by the magic number of 6, which gives us a 3.4
Not bad.
That's not bad at
for
all.
1973's Torso. What did Brody say originally? Brody said 3.2, right? So he was almost on the nut.
Yes.
All
He was
right.
almost dead on.
Yeah, Brody's usually pretty dead nuts on
He
these
gets
shit.
it pretty accurate really quick.
All righty. So next episode preview is Chad already mentioned it, but we're gonna fucking talk about it again. One of Brody's favorite Giallo picks, and that is Chad Daddy.
Deep Red.
Deep Red. We
I have
got a
never
year
seen it.
on that? Let me look that shit up. Hold on. I should know that because we just looked it up. I just looked it.
Oh, Brody
Deep Red
said
is
3.4.
1975. 3.4. Oh,
So he was
there you
dead
go.
on.
Fucking Brody
on.
was definitely dead on. Hell yeah, brother. High five around the world. All right. So yeah, catch next week's episode, 1975's Deep Red. First time view for myself. So
Same.
yeah, Bob.
And I'm pretty, like I said, it's
Yeah, first time.
and like I said, it's like public domain, so you can literally find it anywhere.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And we should have Scuba back next week as well.
Yes.
So
Traitor.
Hey, he might be promoting us right now. Anyways, we have no
He
idea.
probably
is.
is. He probably is.
Be like, I'm from the motherfucking Gore More podcast, bitches. So other than that, gentlemen, we are closing in at an hour and 30. There's not honestly a lot of nerdy news out there that I remember. There's a Ghostbuster VR game coming out. Nothing really on whether it's going to be single or co-op or anything like that. But it's cool that you got another Ghostbuster video game on the way on top of
Did you guys-
Spirits Unleashed.
I don't remember did you guys get a chance to talk about Thor Love and Thunder last week?
We did.
Excellent.
And we fucking spooched
we
all
did.
over it because it
Nice.
was fantastic. And I can't wait. And mark me down also as scared and horny because holy shit, dude.
Yeah, female
Fucking
Thor.
oh my god, what is it actually? It's what do they actually call her? The Mighty Thor, right?
Mighty Thor, yeah.
The Mighty Thor. Dude, her arms are fucking huge. Natalie Portman got jacked as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if they put her and Hemsworth in the same like shit because when he was doing like at the same time for this, wasn't he doing the Hogan biopic as well?
Sounds about right.
Because his arms got fucking massive, dude, for that Hogan biopic. So I just wonder if they hit the same fucking trainer or not.
They might have.
But funny you mentioned that because we didn't have this information at the time. But at the beginning of the trailer, if you have watched it, that is actually Hemsworth's little son running as Tiny Thor.
No shit.
So yeah,
See,
I think
that's
his name is
cool.
Tristan, if I'm not mistaken. So thought that was kind of cool.
Little
And-
mini Hemsworth.
Yep. Now another Hemsworth is acting. So, I like the other Hemsworth too, though. I feel like he's really good. Like he doesn't get.
I've only ever seen him in the Hunger Games movies and the second Expendables.
seen him in Expendables, and there was another one I saw him in, but I can't remember. There was like more of a serious one.
So,
Go ahead, Bob.
no, when you guys are done, I actually have a couple more little things for
Yeah.
some nerdy news here.
Roll up there.
I just found this one right now. For the new Firestarter movie that is coming out this year, John Carpenter composed the score for
Ooh.
this new Firestarter
Yes,
movie.
that is true.
There is a track that is out now. It is on, and shout out to our people who somehow magically post an article 3 days after us. Bloody disgusting.
Dude, I swear to
And
God,
then
if there's a
nudge, nudge.
torso article in a week.
So,
Well,
so
guaranteed. I'll be surprised if there's not.
So they just released one little snippet of his score. It is at Bloody Disgusting. You can also find it on YouTube if you want to. Also, Halloween Ends. Yes, I like the last two. You can hate it.
I'll still watch it.
Halloween
I'll watch
Ends
it,
is
yeah.
in the editing process right now, and Nick Castle teases that so far the ending they have is a very surprise. So, as a Halloween fan, I'm curious as to what it will be.
It's
So
actually Mike Myers as Mike Myers.
which
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
baby.
Listen, all right, as much as that would piss me off, I would laugh.
How could you not, dude?
I know. And also, the Salem's Lot remake is coming out only in theaters this September. September 9th is the release date. And
Hey, a
then
week
the
after my
last
birthday.
Nice. And then the last little thing I have, where was it? Where is it? Where is it? It says, well, these aren't big news, but they're still little things for people to kind of sink teeth into. I said it before. Liam Neeson would be very interested to read a Darkman Legacy sequel script. Remember, he only did the first one. He did not do the two sequels. So it would be interesting to see him in a role that he originated.
He's also stated that he's interested in reprising the role of Qui-Gon Jinn, but only if it's in a film. He won't do a Disney Plus series.
No,
and that's fair.
Too good to do the series.
It's fair, but it's not. That's kind of like a big middle finger to the fans in reality. That's
because especially if you look at the money that
Disney's
goes
done that on some levels too.
But look at the money
True.
that goes into the Disney Plus series, dude. Like you're at movie level anyways, dude. You know what I mean? Like the amount of money that goes in the series now. Netflix just spent $30 million on each fucking episode for the next Stranger Things. Like that's ridiculous, dude. That's ridiculous. There's like what 8 episodes per season or some bullshit.
I wonder how much of that is just the budget spent trying to make it look like it's still set in the 80s.
You know what? That's a very good thought. That's a very good thought. Sweetness. I will say, and for local news for myself, because being a New York guy, such New York, we haven't had a lot of horror. We haven't had any horror cons in our area in a long time. The last one was called ScareCon, and it kind of faded out in 2019. It was but they just announced they're under construction, which means they're fucking coming back. So I hope they come back with a fucking big old hammer. And if they do, maybe I can talk to these boys and we'll set up a fucking table and actually promote this shit up at the fucking con. Because, that would just be fun to hang out with them and see some fucking horror people. Usually it's at a good casino, which they always do it too. So there's always plenty of shit to do.
All right.
I'm not much of a gambling guy, but
I'm not either. But I'm not either. But
But
like, there's a lot of shit to do though. So it's like, all right, man, it's still in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I'll be at the roulette table making some money.
I'd be at the roulette table losing some money.
Right. At all. I'm black, baby. Anything else, gentlemen, before we wrap this shit show up?
That's it.
If you want, we could talk about Elon Musk buying Twitter today. That's actually pretty fucking hilarious.
That's just hilarious.
I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. And I think the people that are mad about I don't want to go too deep into it because I know I'll go on a full fucking rant into it. But I definitely was arguing with family on Facebook, which you should never do. Don't follow my don't. How's the quote? Do what I say, not what I do, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ended up getting an argument with like some family, and it was just all I asked was because it was, he should end homelessness. I was like, he can't end homelessness. I'm like, let's do like, it takes 1 minute of math and some Google searching and we can figure this out. I'm like, now the dude can definitely help out for like, if the dude wiped out his funds now, he could help out for a solid 13 years. I'm not saying he couldn't, but my question is, why is it on one private dude versus a bunch of people that we put in charge?
Yeah,
See, I should not. This is going into a whole different area. We should probably not go into.
But there's just so much legal red tape that he would have to go through. Okay, you say he can afford to end homelessness. Okay, how? The only way he could do that is to give money to each city, each municipality to combat homelessness, and they're going to do whatever the fuck they want to do with that money.
Right.
Yeah.
And the worst part is, anytime that you get government grants, dude, those grants are never fully going to anything that they're supposed to go.
Nope, they
never
never
in their
do.
pockets, dude. People need to get paid. Anybody that works with anybody that has they know somebody's position is a bullshit position. Yeah, boom.
And that's a
palms
lot.
need greased.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
unfortunately.
But personally, I think it's great. I think it's I don't use Twitter, so I don't really give a shit either fucking way. That's my honest opinion.
I use it to troll politicians.
Fair enough.
So it's win-win for me.
I signed up one time, and that was back in 2009, just to follow Ed Boon for Mortal Kombat updates. That was
I originally started it because I was following when the Friday the 13th game was still really, really big.
Yeah.
Following their Twitter account was the only way to really find out when the servers were down and what areas they were down. And that's when I started following them. Then I started following the Pittsburgh Penguins and stuff. Then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just troll politicians. A buddy of mine goes by the handle of Randall Flagg, obviously not his real name. He has a permanent lifetime ban on Twitter because
permanent lifetime.
Because AOC, she was doing a of course you know.
Yep.
So she was doing like one of those live streams of her cooking or something. He just kept telling her to take her top off.
Jesus fuck, dude. Jesus. All right. No, enough of that bullshit. But no, man, good. You know what, man? Fuck it, dude. If I had the kind of shit, dude, I would do shit just to piss people off. I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
You know he was going to do it either way. He was either going to buy it outright or do an absolute hostile takeover. You know, Twitter was his one way or another.
Yep. Fuck it. All righty, gentlemen. So next week, once again, 1975's Deep Red. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. Chad, you want to start us off?
Yeah, this is your Dark Lord of Knowledge, your Chad Daddy saying, catch me next week here on the next episode, bitches.
This is your Killing Machine, Bobby Moan, saying we'll see you next week, fuckers.
And stay tuned for episode 10 of The Machine Shop.
Yes, that'll be releasing this week, hopefully.
And I am your Fluff Master Supreme, the one who's not so mean, Mr. Big Johnny D, saying adios, Gorehounds. And remember, stay fresh, cheese.